Right, we're going to head back to Manchester now, where this coming Saturday, David Haye will be defending his WBA heavyweight title against Audley Harrison. Craig Slater is in Manchester, and we could cross to speak to him now. So, Craig, Haye arriving very shortly by helicopter, hence you hanging around in the middle of what looks like a deserted airfield.
That's right, yeah, it's quite something, isn't it? But let me just set the scene for you a little bit. We're in the city of Manchester Airport. It was formerly known as the Barton Aerodrome. It was actually a World War II bomber base, this place, which is kind of appropriate, I suppose, because the guy that's landing here is going to be looking to drop a few bombs on Audley Harrison on Saturday. Boom, boom. But yes, and it has developed into a kind of old school versus new school theme in the build-up to this fight. David Haye very much new school, the kind of flash young kid on the block in the heavyweight division. Audley Harrison taking the much more traditional approach about his preparations for this fight. We saw him come up from London yesterday on a coach with all his team. They took a 6-hour coach trip from London, but yeah, he's got all his team about him, a 15-man strong entourage, and interestingly as well, he's got his wife and his little daughter Ariella here. But David Haye, and he's staying in a country hotel, but David Haye, as you say, coming here by helicopter, staying right in the city centre, and but it is quite a good thing, I think, for heavyweight boxing that we do have someone like David Haye now who, you know, adds a bit of glitz and glamour to the whole business, because the heavyweight division certainly needs it.
Craig, I mean, you've been spending a lot of time with both fighters in the lead up to this particular fight. We always expect boxers to exude confidence. That's part of the game as you head into a fight. Who, though, is looking to you the more confident, has that inner confidence that he's going to be coming out victorious on Saturday night?
Yeah. Well, we have seen particularly a lot of Audley Harrison over the last couple of days. I spent quite a bit of time with him today, and as you say, yes, he always does talk a good fight, but I have to say, having spent, you know, been at quite close quarters with him in the build-up to this, I do think he is in a very good place psychologically. I was a little bit surprised to see his wife and his daughter over here and with him, you know, in the run-up to the fight itself. A lot of fighters don't like to be near their family in the build-up to fights. David Haye, for instance, has trained in a London hotel, stayed in a London hotel, and had his training camp just round the corner for that in the run-up to this. But no, Audley Harrison, no doubt about it, seems to have a kind of inner peace within him, and you know, he really does believe, it seems to me, that he has got David Haye's number. He thinks David Haye was in the kind of place psychologically he was 5 years ago when his ego kind of ran riot. That's what he's been saying, and he's been quite amused with the fact that Haye's going to arrive, make this big entrance here by helicopter, and this is what he had to say about that.
I chuckled when I heard David Haye was coming in a helicopter, because that's definitely something I would have been, and I never went that far. I thought about a private jet one time, but you know, like I said, David Haye, enjoy your helicopter ride, because like I said, November the 13th, I'm going to be bringing you back down to earth, no doubt in my mind.
He's been very, very entertaining all the way up to the fight on Saturday, and no doubt will continue to be so over the next few days. From the time you spent with David Haye's camp, do you get any sense at all that he's underestimating his opponent on Saturday night? Or is he taking the threat from Harrison very, very seriously?
Well, I think David Haye, having reached the level he has, having been undisputed world cruiserweight champion and now won this world heavyweight title, I think he feels that to lose to Audley Harrison at this stage would be just such a tremendous fall from grace for him, that he has trained every bit as hard as he has for previous title fights. In fact, he said himself that he's trained considerably harder than he did for his first defence of the title against John Ruiz, and he expects to come in a good bit lighter than he was for that fight, which is a sign that he has trained extra hard. There have been one or two whispers from the camp, or rumours, if you like, to the fact that he was knocked down in sparring a couple of times by some of his sparring partners. I have to say, from the contacts I have within the camp and the people I know around boxing, I can't really vouch for that. That may be just some kind of talk that has been started up. So no question about it, you know, he is fully focused for this. The real bonanza fights lie ahead for him potentially in this remaining year of his career. He still insists he's going to retire by the age of 31. So You know, if he wants to get a Klitschko fight, if he wants to fight one or two of the Klitschko brothers, there's no question about it. He cannot fall at this hurdle against Audley Harrison on Saturday night. He's 8-1 on with the bookmakers. He's a heavy favourite. Audley Harrison 4-1 against, but there have been much bigger odds than that upset before in heavyweight boxing. You think back to the likes of Evander Holyfield knocking out Mike Tyson. He was a 33-1 outsider for that one. Buster Douglas, 6 years before that in Tokyo in 1990, was 40-1 heading into that fight with Mike Tyson, you know, and managed to knock him out. So accidents do happen in heavyweight boxing. It is all to play for on Saturday night.
OK, Craig, as soon as we hear the faint purr of a distant helicopter, we will be back with you.
Chit-chat after the break. Just before the break, we can bring you live pictures of David Haye landing at the moment in Manchester, having been in London today.
Yeah, he's arriving in Manchester ahead of, you know what, the big showdown coming up this weekend against Audley Harrison. 22,000 going to be attending at the MEN Arena. It's going to be live on Sky Box Office, live on Sky 3D as well. The bookmakers making Haye the massive favourite against the former Olympic champion, but many thinking it could be a little bit closer than some are predicting, including a former world champion himself in Lennox Lewis, who reckons that Haye is the better boxer. But he's not ruling out a big surprise on Saturday night. But while Audley's prepared to jump in a coach and head by the roads, the reigning world heavyweight champion, the WBA heavyweight champion, has come by helicopter, landing in the gloom at Manchester right now. Craig Slater is waiting there in the gloom to speak to the reigning world champion. His training's gone well, so too Audley Harrison as well. A huge amount of confidence exuding from both sides. We'd expect nothing less in the build-up to a fight of this size. Craig Slater, as I said, is standing by, hopefully keeping a safe distance. And I guess, Craig, as he arrives in the gloom of Manchester, he knows that he's only days away from what is going to be a very, very highly watched fight, not just here in the UK, but right around the world.
Absolutely right, Simon. Great, isn't it? The haymaker has landed. But will it land on Saturday night? That's the big question. Will it land on Audley Harrison's chin? But what an entrance. And you have to say, heavyweight boxing really has been in the doldrums since Lennox Lewis retired, 6-7 years ago. And it's great that we have a new young heavyweight, albeit he's just turned 30 years of age last month. It is great that he is now, you know, one of the 3 world champions, and poised, he hopes, to really dominate this division. But yes, he likes to make it a kind of glitzy entrance, and he's talked about maybe when he retires from boxing in a year or so's time, he's talked about maybe getting into acting, becoming a kind of action hero kind of figure, like a Jason Statham or a Vinnie Jones. But you can see now there's David coming out the helicopter there with some of his team around side him. Adam Booth, his trainer managers there as well. But we'll just take a walk over, see if we can get a word with him. This is his 26th career fight. This is the second defence of his WBA heavyweight belt. Only his 5th fight at heavyweight though. There he is, and dressed in white with the sunglasses on, looking in pretty good shape. I think I'll just quickly run over and see if we can grab him very quickly, see how his journey was. But David, good to see you. You too. Spectacular entrance as ever. But how was the flight? A bit bumpy up there?
No, it was okay. It was straight through, no problem. We had to stop off and refuel. But other than that, it only took about 5-10 minutes. Then back up and here real quick.
This is your way of bringing a little extra glamour to the heavyweight division. You think it needs it?
Definitely a little bit of glamour. I'm just looking forward to doing a job Saturday night. You know, I heard all these talking big. He's talking big, and he wants to do some damage to me. So let's get it on. Now I've touched down in Manchester. I know it makes it a little bit more real for me now, and you know, I just can't wait to get to the hotel, set my stuff out, and then I've got the press conference tomorrow. It's look into his eyes. And then we're going to see what's going to get. So I'll get a little feeling in your stomach where you're ready to go to war.
He's saying 2 rounds. I won't keep you because it's very cold. He's saying 2 rounds. He's going to knock you out. What's your response?
Brilliant. Bring it. Bring it. Everybody knows I like a tear up. You've got to watch any of my fights to realise that. Watch one of all these fights where he comes out and tries to blast someone out. Very rarely happens. But, hopefully he's telling the truth. Hopefully he believes that. If he comes out and wants to chin me in 2 rounds, then you're going to get a great 30 seconds.
Okay. Just finally, Mike Tyson's had his say as well. You know, he thinks you're well set to deal with the southpaw, but he also does say you will get hit at some point. You want to prove him wrong on Saturday?
Yeah, boxing. You know, whenever you're in the ring against someone who's got long arms, and the guy's going to be probably about 3 stone heavier than me, like 3 inches taller. He's a big guy. You're going to get hit. I'm used to getting hit. I've been getting hit since I was 10 years old. I'm no stranger to punishment. And I've been punishing myself in the gym day in, day out, and I know I can cope with the pressure, and I can cope with the pain. And I don't think Audley can. You know, I don't believe Audley can take what I can take. And it's all about proving it on the night.
Just the most brief message to Audley Harrison, because I know he's watching this in his hotel at the moment.
Yeah, Audley, I'm glad we're here. We're going to get it on. I know you train hard. Good luck to you. Stay healthy. Don't trip up. Don't hurt yourself. Stay healthy. Saturday night, we're going to go to war, toe-to-toe, blow for blow. Let's do this.
Spectacular entrance, David. Good to see you here. Thank you very much. Yep, there's the Haye camp. They're now making their way to the city centre hotel here in Manchester, staying in a very swanky hotel. But the build-up continues apace here. And tomorrow, of course, we'll have the live head-to-head news conference. Remember the first one in September. Plenty of fireworks there. We expect more tomorrow.
Great, thanks very much. I tell you what, when it's a gloomy night, nothing... You're more justified in wearing them because we've got bright lights here.
I'm getting into the theme of
I was looking very closely to see if there was any suspect bruises under those shades.
Oh, yes, good way to hide them.
Couldn't see any.
When we come back...